Okay, so another error kept seeing on the test, and most of the people in the class made the error, okay?
Now,
You see a equation with denominators, you multiply both sides by a common denominator. Okay, so here, I've got 35 times this side, right? And I've got 35 times this side, right? Now, one thing I saw, at least one person who probably would have done fairly well in the test except for time constraints, okay? But, you know, just a total brain freeze type thing. Multiplied the common denominator by this one, didn't multiply by this one, and then multiplied by this one, okay? Multiplied by the first thing on this side, but not the other thing, okay? So that's why I say you multiply by both sides and you write out this step. You don't skip the step where you put the common denominator in front of everything on this side with parentheses around it. And the same thing on this side. Of course, there's not much on this side, but if there was, you'd have to do that. If you skip that step, you tend to make that error. You multiply the common denominator by this, but not by this. Okay? So, well, that gives us, and I'm not going to go through the details of the fractions now. 35 times x over 5 is 7x, because we've been over the details. I don't want to see cancellation. I want to see the details, but I'm going to skip them for right now. What's that, 270 and 45 is 315. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, okay. And from there on, everybody can solve it. Nothing to it, okay? And everybody did pretty well with the linear equations, although I don't like the form in which they were solved sometimes. It makes me nervous because doing it by sight rather than by rules, okay? So we want to talk about that too. For right now, we'll leave that alone and come back to it, okay?
so it's solved?
Sorry?
It's not solved, is it?
Do what now?
No, that's, okay, no, we're good.
Yeah. You're going to add these, you get 12x equals 315. You're going to divide both sides by 12. You're going to get 315 over 12. Okay? And it comes out to what? 75 over 4. 18 and 3/4. If I did that right. Okay? Now, let's say we got an equation that looks a lot like that one. Let's say it's x over 5 plus 7 over x equals 9. Practically the same equation, except I flipped this thing. Okay? So now what's your common denominator?
9? No.
5.
Good.
5.
Now,
I don't know, I
that's
just
part
looked
of it.
and I seen none. Sorry.
I mean, you got a denominator of x, right? So 5x is your denominator.
So
Okay.
we're not done.
Sorry?
So we're not done. Oh, we're doing a new problem. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna lose
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I said et cetera. I'm not taking time to solve this. Okay? Could have got started late, and I'm going to have to end up here in about 3 minutes so I can get everything done for class. Okay?
Interesting.
So we got x over 5 plus 7 over x equals 9, right? So we multiply both sides by the common denominator, which is 5x.
Are these easier than the other ones, or just as complex, or no?
Again?
Are these easier than that type of problem, or are these worse?
Depends. Yeah, for some people one, for some people another. Okay, so anyhow, we multiply this out, and we get, I'm going to do a little more detail here. We get that's 5x squared over 5, and this is 35x over x. Okay, because the 5x is a 5x over 1, and we multiply 5x over 1 by this, 5x over 1 by this. That's the way it comes out. This is 5 over 5 times x squared plus 35 times x over x equals 45x. Well, 5 over 5 is 1. 1 times x squared is x squared. X over x is 1, so you just end up with 35 here. And you have that, and you haven't drawn lines through anything because I forbid it. Okay? Because people don't know the algebra well enough to know the rules. Many people don't know, most people don't know the algebra well enough to know the rules for cancellation, and they keep doing it wrong. And then you've got what? What do you do with this? You recognize this instantly as a quadratic equation. You got an x squared and an x and a number, right?
Why?
And you rearrange that and you go through the steps. You do this. And figure out that there's probably no way to factor this, so you use the quadratic formula. Okay? So that's a good start on things that you need to know, because we've done it a bunch of times, but people didn't do well in the test. Okay?
I wish I could take tests like feeling like this. I feel like I do a lot better. You know?